What up and welcome to Rama Screen YouTube channel, and here's my review of Netflix new documentary series Dancing for the Devil, the 7M TikTok cult. Let's rock this. I've lost count on how many Netflix true crime documentaries I've seen that are about cults or fake churches, and this latest one is the most infuriating of them all. And that's how you know the docu works. It's when you get boiling mad and it makes you want to outrage on social media and demand that some action or justice be taken. I'm telling ya, just a few minutes into the first episode, Dancing for the Devil will turn any calm, collected person into an angry hothead. Now, to give you a bit of context, prior to this docu, I had never heard of the Shekinah Church or 7M Management Group. So after watching the entire thing, I googled 7M and I googled Robert Shin, and I'm like, damn, why hasn't this dude been held accountable yet for his obvious scam? He is scamming TikTok dancers into working for him by way of religion. He's basically bastardizing the concepts of God and Jesus and heaven and hell and faith in order to have complete control over people's lives. Dancing for the Devil is informative, it's shocking, it's well-structured, it's riveting. By the end of it, you'll be like, where's the update? I want an update. Give me Dancing for the Devil Part 2 after the trial happens next year. Directed by Derek Doneen, in Dancing for the Devil, the 7M TikTok cult, a group of prominent TikTok dancers are trapped in a cult masquerading as a management company called 7M. Among them is Miranda Wilking, whose family is desperately trying to get their daughter out. As other dancers and former members escape and work to rebuild their lives, it isn't until they come together to try and put a stop to the cycle of their abuser that the real healing begins. This 3-part documentary series exposes this diabolical tactics used by cult-like organizations to exert control over people, as well as the lengths families will go to keep their loved ones safe. Hey, please click the join button below to become Rama Screen members. By doing so, you will help support this channel and you'll also get lots of perks. So click on the link below to join Rama Screen membership today. What's kind of funny is that this asshole Robert Shin basically applies the same cult strategy textbook known to man. There's nothing groundbreaking about what he's doing. By that I mean, Scientology also does this, to my understanding. This whole disconnecting their followers from their family members so that the only person that they would trust and obey is just him. And as you'll see from episode 2 on this documentary, there's even a hierarchy to Shekinah Church, where the sheep have to report to their leaders and so on and so forth before they could reach Robert. And on top of that, the sexual assault allegations and how he's entitled to sleep with multiple women. So it's a classic textbook narcissistic cult leadership in the form of just one man. Robert was not the first to have ever done it, but it blows my mind that there are people who to this day still fall for that bullshit. This documentary is very well made. It uses the Wilking family as a way in, but then it quickly covers the other victims/survivors as well. And it's like this wave of going from the joys of dancing on TikTok to the second episode, which is a lot more dark and heartbreaking. And then episode 3 shows some self-reflection and fighting back and trying to regain that love of dancing again. The most chilling moments for me are whenever the audio of Robert Shin's sermons are playing in the background against the images of those dancers or the images of those families with their heads down, looking defeated and helpless. The filmmakers of this documentary really know how to place the right emotional triggers at just the right time. Oh, and Dancing for the Devil also proves how suspenseful and thrilling it can be, serving up court papers to a defendant. They got their POV camera on, there's a bit of recon going on, a bit of minor car chase as well. It's such an effective way to engage audiences, turning something that's usually mundane into something that's highly dramatic. Now, this whole documentary is a compelling expose, but to me, episode 2 is the one that pretty much gives the game away. When one of the Korean American sisters said that Robert once said something to the effect of, "The grace of Jesus Christ is not enough. I alone can save you." I mean, my God. Look, I grew up in a Christian family. We were taught that Jesus' grace is enough. Our salvation is not based on what we do, but based on what He's done on the cross. Every good, loving Christian knows that. So, if a pastor comes along that says the complete opposite or says something megalomaniac like what Robert said, and if you don't see that as a red flag, then maybe you should have your Christian card revoked. Okay, it is unfortunate that this Netflix docu includes Katie Joy Paulson's Without a Crystal Ball social media. And I get it. I understand if you guys refuse to watch this docu or if you choose to boycott it for that very reason. Katie Joy Paulson is a trauma vulture, a clickbaiter, however you want to call it. But I'm here to tell you that Katie does not take up a big portion on this docu, and the docu does not constantly mention her, and it does not treat her social media like it's the only source. I wish they had not included that, but that's a very, very tiny brief part. I don't know if it's a lapse of judgment or maybe the filmmakers are naive and they just want to show how widespread the movement against Robert Shin is on social media. But what I'm getting at is, I hope that that does not discourage you from watching Dancing for the Devil, because the big picture remains, the real controversy remains, and more people need to hear about Robert Shin, so that if he ends up winning the trials, which is the likely outcome since defamation and sexual assault cases are difficult unless you have hard evidence, then he and his 7M scam empire could at least be destroyed in the court of public opinion. Because the other two things that narcissists like Robert values even more than money are reputation and legacy. So yeah, overall I give Dancing for the Devil, the 7M TikTok cult, the rating of 4 out of 5. Another excellent true crime documentary from Netflix, absorbing and gripping. It is unbelievable that cults are still a thing in the year of our Lord 2024. And just like sunlight is the best disinfectant, we need to get these stories out in the open for all to see.